Hi, I'm Nan Arkwright. I'm a pediatric occupational therapist. I wanted to share about my book, Kito, and how he's learning how to let things go. This is something that's challenging for so many of the kids that I work with. They often think that someone's doing something to be mean to them, that it's on purpose, without really understanding that sometimes accidents just happen and there's no ill intent behind it. Often that's happening because they're not seeing the big picture. They're seeing themselves in a small part of the picture, but not really understanding, oh, there was something that maybe happened before that that you didn't notice that caused this accident, somebody bumping into you or knocking something out of your hands or something like that. So because a lot of the kids that I work with sometimes are having so many experiences like this, they tend to think, oh, it was on purpose. So this is a story. Part of the purpose of it is to help kids learn that sometimes accidents just happen, and how do you handle that? Because it can feel sometimes a little hard to let it go. And I think we as adults can certainly understand that sometimes there are things for us too that can make it hard to let things go. And so this is a story that talks about how others can help and how we can grow from those experiences. So I'll share my screen and show about the book. Here's no Kito, no. Kito learns to let it go. So these four giraffes are on their way to the watering hole, and Kapinzi accidentally bumps into Kito. And so Kito doesn't like this, and so he bumps Kapinzi back. And Kapinzi's response is, no, Kito, no. And then Kito doesn't like it because he's being told no. And so he starts grunting loudly and he's upset, but they move on. They stop at an acacia tree to get a little nibble. And just as Kito's about to grab a leaf with his tongue, Tajiri reaches for a nearby leaf. So he's in a space. He thinks he's doing something mean to him. And so he gives him a warning kick, like, you're too close. Give me space. But he doesn't say it. He does that message. So then his friends yell back at him, no, Kito, no. And then that makes Kito get really upset. And so the zebras who are coming back from their trip to the watering hole are wondering what all of the noise is about. So they stop. The most thoughtful one in the front is Pundamelia, and she asks, what's the emergency? Because it sounds like maybe a lion's chasing them or something. And so they're on the alert because they don't want to be chased by a lion either. And then they realize, oh, you're feeling like Mount Kilimanjaro, which is a mountain in Tanzania, and feel ready to erupt. And Kito is explaining, yeah, Kapinzi bumped me and I didn't like it. Now all my friends are telling me no. So how he's feeling in that moment that Punamili is going to uncover is that he's not feeling part of the group. And certainly in Africa, if you're not part of a group, you're in more danger than because you're single and an easier target for predators. And so of course, for us as people too, it feels the same way. We want to feel safe with others. We want to feel protected. We want to feel like we're part of a group. It helps us belong. And that's such an important feeling to have. And when people or other animals are telling you no all the time, it feels like you're not part of the group and that you maybe don't know how to be part of the group. So Pundamelia is saying, yeah, I know what it's like to feel bumped. And lots of times when I'm doing my great migration across the river and into the Serengeti where there's more food for me, I get bumped all the time. The wildebeest and I travel together, and we're big animals, and the water's rough. We don't know what to expect. And so we do sometimes bump into each other. And if we just kind of think, well, we got to keep moving because we got to get to the food. It's a long trek and it's just crowded. So let it go. But Keto's thinking, I don't know about that. I haven't really had that success, and so I'm not sure what you mean. So Keto is willing to listen to Punamilia. Punamilia is being very generous with her time with Keto and understanding that this is hard. So Punamilia continues and says, well, have you told your friends that how you feel about this? Maybe if they checked on you, is that what would make you feel like you're more part of the group and belong and that people care about you? And he's like, yeah, I think that would make me stop feeling like Mount Kilimanjaro. It would help me know it's an accident, and it would feel good to know that they notice that something happened and that they care enough to check on me. So Punamila says to the other zebras, yeah, we get it. We know how it feels. We like to be respected too. And Punamila is thinking, well, so when now that we've talked about it a little bit, does it make you feel a little more forgiving toward your friends? And so that's again a kind of a message like, well, maybe it was, can you think of it? Can you reframe the experience and think of it as just, oh, my friends were just trying to be, we're not actually trying to be mean. Maybe I can just forgive them because it was an accident. Forgiveness is a big thing. A lot of kids have a really hard time. That's what this is all about, of just understanding. And a lot of the reason is because they're not seeing the big picture. They're not seeing what just happened that caused the accident, or even what they may have done that caused a problem. And they're just thinking about what happened to them, but they're not always noticing what's going on around them. But hearing someone take time, the zebra, to hear the challenge that that Keto's feeling helps Keto actually calm and start thinking, well, I can start paying attention to my body messages. Like when I feel like stomping my hooves or snorting or kicking, I can pause and remember, oh, they're my friends and they can help me learn what to do when I'm upset. And Keto's thinking caring friends can help me feel part of the group and help me feel safe too. So that's all possible for Keto to kind of advance in his thinking because the zebra took time to soothe his big feelings and help him not explain, not say, get over it, it's not a big deal, but just be there present with him. And that really helps him be able to move on and start thinking, okay, well, someone understands me and I'm not alone in having experiences like this of getting bumped. And I could actually make a plan for what to do. And so he's feeling connected to his friends thanks to the zebras. And then Keto has an even more advanced idea. And he's saying, I think I could make a plan. And he tells his friends, if one of you accidentally bumps into me, could you help me learn about letting it go by asking if I'm okay? Which is brilliant for Keto to do because he's taking control of the situation and making a plan for solving the problem so that he can learn about letting it go. So his friends agreed to the plan. Giraffes can kind of press their long necks into each other, and that shows that they're feeling connected. Connected is a big thing. It's a really big thing for mental health, feeling like you belong, you're part of a group. So they finally get to the watering hole, and lo and behold, there's a lion chasing after these zebras. But this one zebra kind of went in its attempt to get away from the lion another direction from the rest of them and accidentally bumps into Keto and, oh, sorry, Kapinzi, and then Kapinzi accidentally bumps into Keto. So Keto starts noticing his body messages. His eyes get narrow, his breath comes out in small bursts. He feels heat rising from his toes to his ears, and he feels like kicking Kapinzi back, but he takes a deep breath instead. This is what's the hardest for kids, to be able to implement a plan, to be able to think in the moment. So there's a split second available for Keto, for kids to be able to think, pause. What could I do instead? If kids can think, if I kick back, they're going to yell no at me again. If I restrain myself and kind of think, I have a plan for this very moment and implement the plan, he'll find out what happens. So he's got this idea what will happen. And sure enough, his friends remember that they can help him learn and grow his brain by asking, are you okay? And then Kapinzi explains, well, a scared zebra ran into me and that made me accidentally bump into you. And so Keto's understanding now, and in fact, Keto now can even check back on Kapinzi to see if Kapinzi's okay, which is a lot of progress to be able to understand. That's a sign of showing I understand it was an accident and I can let it go. And I'm not upset because I see you explained to me what happened. That helped me understand that it was not intentional. A lot of times kids are not doing this kind of thing in real life where they're explaining what happened. For example, sometimes kids are waiting in line and they're not paying attention and the line is moving forward and kids might be saying, go, 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 and they might not be listening. And so kids will start cutting in front to keep up with the line. And then the kid who wasn't watching the line move forward can misunderstand that to be, oh, you cut in front of me. And so this understanding, if someone has said to if he had listened, been able to hear the message from the other kids, like the line's moving, go forward, then those words would have helped him in the same way that Kapinzi's words help Keto. Like, I see now the problem. And so even if it was after the fact, like they went ahead of you because you weren't moving, we didn't know what else to do. Even when we said, look at the line, it's moving. And so that explanation can help kids understand. So Keto's thinking, well, yeah, using the plan feels way better than no, Keto, no. It feels like, yes, Keto, yes. I like how that feels. It's encouraging to me. And he gets excited and he lets them know he feels cared about and respected because of that. And so now they can all jump up and down and give high fives because it feels great to hear, yes, Keto, yes, you did something hard and you grew from it. And everyone likes that. And every time you do that in the future, it makes it easier for the next time and becomes more of a pattern of, oh, I wonder what just happened, rather than assuming the worst situation. So I hope you enjoyed this story about Keto. And this is a story that I see a lot of times in my practice and that needs additional information for kids to understand what that is, what actually happened, and then some support to help them know, like maybe there's another way to think of it. Maybe there's another way that I could help you to reframe it, to be able to move on, to be able to resolve the situation with the friend through talking about it. And so the story is meant to be a conversation starter for kids and adults working with kids to help them know, like, yeah, these kinds of things happen. Can you relate to a situation? But it's also a valuable book because when a child is familiar with a story, then when parents and child are experiencing a similar situation, parents or others working with a child can remind the child who's feeling not sort of left out of the group, oh, remember, this is like Keto. Could you try to do what Keto did? Can you let me help calm first, and then let me help you be able to come up with a plan? Do you want me to help you come talk and find out what happened? Would you like me to help you and ask, is there something I can do to help you in case it was the child had actually caused a problem? Like Keto, can I help you? Like, are you okay? Kids like to help. They like to repair situations. They just need to understand what the thing was. And they're always willing to say, oh, okay, yeah. And then I can get you a Band-Aid or something. They want to do that for kids. but they have to understand that it needs to be someone who helps them kind of go through the scene and understand what really happened. And hearing from the other child also really is very helpful. Oh, I didn't know you were in line, or whatever it is. And then the child pretty much on the spot will say, oh, okay, and be able to move on. So it really does require that step that the zebra did with Kito in order for them to be able to move on and be able to grow from the situation and be able to truly let it go. And so that then again, like I said, every time they let it go, great. It makes it easier the next time. So I also wanted to make sure that readers know, or listeners know, that I have books on my website that are the other keto books that are similar. Just how can an adult help a child learn how can adults help children feel soothed, heard, felt, all those things that make them grow like Keto did, and be able to come up with a plan that will make it feel more like, yes, Keto, yes, which is how kids are going to grow when they feel supported, when they feel connected. Also, on my website, there is a video that goes along with this video where I interview another person to talk about their experiences with this and their professional life. And also, there are on my website all kinds of fun activities for kids to do that reinforce the messages from the story. There are opportunities for parents and child to talk about these situations to help them learn and grow, just like Keto. And also on the website are tools for parents to help kids. So the tips, understanding of why this can feel this way to kids, that and why that things are challenging for them, and that maybe somebody's doing something on purpose. So be sure to look at that. There's that videos and extra activities, free gifts for all the books that I've written. So please be sure to check out everything, because there's a lot of value on my website that I hope will help you in your journey with a child in your life. Thank you.